All right, so a rare video. Let's go. DXY. It's been climbing, climbing. To be honest, gold's been going up with it. I feel like gold goes up when the dollar goes up. Shouldn't, but that's kind of been going on for a couple of weeks. But if the dollar goes down, gold doesn't exactly go down with it. So it's pretty good when looking at the DXY. Of course, the DXY generally seems to move up with yields. Let's look at yields. They've pretty much gone up. They're bouncing from a little bit of support, 30 year, 10 year. So sometimes it differentiates from the dollar, but by and large, it's the same thing. Gold is okay though. Let's look at gold real quick. Look at that. Gold's very nice. And look at this ascending. It's really held nicely. Obviously, it started down here. It touched several points. Pivot one, two, three, four. And it's like, I feel like you see this collapse here. This was the make or break. I mean, it broke down, but it held. Look at that close at low of day there. Horrible stuff. And the ascending is, I mean, maybe my line's off by a couple of, maybe one, no, not 1 centimeter, but quite a few millimeters, maybe, but it held. And then it went down and touched it again, and it held. And then it went up here, and then one more, and it held. And then we climb our way back from this ditch. We touch this. I mean, it takes a lot to climb all the way back up here. And if you're going to go there, you're going to break out. Little handle broke out. Nice. Closed at high of day. Where are we now? I feel like this is like a little light resistance. Might not even be at all. We closed above it. To be honest, it wasn't. But we're holding. Maybe it is. We're holding today. Where are we? We closed unchanged. We spent most of the day below. That's pretty good, like sideways consolidation. What's the next stop? Next stop's up here. You know what I mean? Next stop for me is, am I biased? I think I am. But I really think, look, we climbed our way out of here to do what? Go all the way back down here. And if we do, we'll probably hold again. I feel like we might do sideways. We might even go back down and test 2720. But I just feel like we're going to go sideways and then up. And if you go to 2800, what do? Well, you touch it. You may look back down a little bit. And then you go up to 3000. Or we go down here and do it. Or we go down here and then we try it later or something. But this looks like we're going to go test 2800. And if you're testing 2800, you're testing 3000. Am I biased? Absolutely, I am. Silver is nowhere near as strong. But if gold's going to do it, silver has to just come up for some of the ride. So silver, I mean, look, not the best day. Retesting this descending. This descending probably doesn't count anymore. It's been retested so much. I'm going to delete it. But I think I think you just got to look at gold. If gold's going to start moving up to 2800, I'm sorry, I don't care what the candle was yesterday. This has to be here. You know, if we're testing tomorrow or we're on our way to 2800, you're going to see a close above this obvious resistance, very short-term resistance. So if we're moving up and we're just below 2800 in gold, you're going to have a candle closed, 31 or higher, basically. And then the next day, when you're above 2800, you're going to have one of those big candles, one of those ones. And it's going to be, I think you're forced to go test basically 32, right? This little 32 zone, these are bad, but you know what I mean? 32 has to be there if you're at 28 or higher. And then you're going to have this sort of, oh my God, gold's on its way to 3000. Silver's obviously going to have to go up here, and silver's just going to be lagging. But yeah, it's going to start probably outperforming decently on the way up to make up for this hesitance over here. So for me, silver, obviously silver's underperforming, but it's all about gold, I think, and gold looks really good, doesn't it? Now, silver, like the miners, underperforming, but we've come out from the gutter. I'm looking at GDX. First of all, we closed a high of day. That's really nice. Now look at, I mean, I haven't done a video in a while. Very sorry about that. Family issues. That should be cleared now. But I mean, look at this. We came down here. The descending line, perfect pivot touches. One, two, three. So we touched that. We touched it perfectly. No coincidence, I think. This I can remove. Let's just clear it up. So what happens now is it's all about gold going up for 2,800. If gold's going above 2,800, I mean, especially given the close today, we're going to have the GDXJ above 48 close. When you're above 48, next stop is, whoops, next stop's going to be over here, even above 50. I don't even think 50 is the level. I think it's, yeah, 50.50 or maybe even 51. But anyway, we're going to be heading towards 50 plus the resistance around 50, let's say, if gold's above 20,100 and probably running towards 3,000, you're probably gonna have a big GDXJ day. You know, one of those like plus 4, 5, 6% days, those beautiful days, especially for GDXJ. That's not asking too much. SILJ, I don't know why I start with the juniors. SILJ, even more of a junior chart. Look at that. Gold being where it is, SILJ's there. That's really, it's not even ridiculous. That's weird. Close a high of day, so that's nice. The descending is working, unfortunately. Well, I mean, it's reassuring that the technicals are generally correct, but I would have wished it broke out already. But I mean, I think tomorrow you can expect SILJ, even if gold is like sideways, I think SILJ needs to do a bit of a move towards 11 or something here. Just break out, close on a daily above this. Tomorrow's also Friday, so that would make a nice weekly candle. And then next week, gold has a good day tomorrow. It could set up a really nice weekly candle for next week. And then yeah, next week for me, next resistance is there. You know, descending can be deleted and we're just going to work off horizontals. And it's just going to be a question about seeing how far up we can go and how fast. This is all dependent on gold and silver, especially for SILJ, but seriously underperforming. But that's kind of good because now you should really be able to get a lot of profit out of the silver miners, which we're going to check out later. Now I look real quick at GDX. That looks nice. That looks pretty good. And I think it's typical of what we've seen the last couple of months. Can I even say years, where the senior miners have basically outperformed everything, even though we've had a massive run up and you expect the juniors to to outperform and do well. It just hasn't happened. And it might, I don't want to say it might never happen, but it's taken place for so long that I've rearranged my portfolio so that I've just got decent seniors and I got rid of all the little juniors. The most junior stock I have is basically mid tiers, and I'm really happy about that. But anyway, GDX looks good. Look at that retest of this resistance. It's like a nice support close, a high of day. Next stop is a close above 38. Obviously, if we have a nice day tomorrow, that is inevitable, really inevitable. After that, next stop is going to be probably around 39. It's probably around there. 40 for some reason I don't really see as a level. It's a bit of a level, but not really. I think once you close above 39, especially 39.20, you basically you probably got gold above 20,100 and on its way to 3,000. You might just have GDX just run up here to 42. And if GDX is running up to 42, the next stop is 44, the old highs, which would be amazing. That can be real fast. Then you can expect those little juniors to be moving more. You know, like a GDX plus 4% day could be a plus 6.5% GDXJ kind of thing. SIL is okay. Silver's just, well, we know Silver's underperforming. And that's probably what might happen. You know, you might finally get this big pop in silver, and then you get the SILJs, the SILs moving, and then you'll probably get a really strong day in miners. I hope so. It's long overdue because this is the senior silver miners index. And what are we doing down here? Well, actually, silver's quite weak. I guess it's justified. GDX is the best chart. All right, let's go to the actual portfolio. Right, Newmont, which has underperformed obviously since this flush, where I was buying the dip quite a lot, some of it early. I've forgotten where all the buys are. I think I even made bought 43 or something, but I was buying it here. I'm quite sure I did buy the low, but if you keep buying the drop, eventually you can say you bought the low. But this pop is nice. I recognize GDX with Newmont. Newmont makes a big part of it. And I think when Newmont has a good day, GDX has to have a good day. This is nice though. Next stop up here, 42.60. We close above that. Next stop up here, 44. You close above 44, you're not just gonna run up here. There are little mini things, little gap fill here, 44.5. There's probably something here, 45, tiny gap fill. I don't know, they could just be stop off points intraday if we're having a big move, but you can't really get to this area in one go. It's probably like one big candle up to 44 is possible. Then you're probably gonna have two or three. The thing is, Newmont, I mean, Newmont's, I feel it's quite strong, but at a certain point here, you're gonna have all these little resistance points, and I love selling into that. to be honest, because you're not allowed to just go all the way back up to 50, to 59. It's just not going to happen. And at one point, you'll start to see some weakness, and it's never obvious the moment it starts. It's obvious a bit after, but I like to sell into it. I haven't sold any Newmont yet. I feel like it can go up to 44. I might just out of principle sell what I bought there and basically start the sell off there. I mean, selling into it in tranches like a machine gun. I call it machine gun. I don't know why, but sell 43, I don't know, 79. Then I'll sell tiny bit, tiny bit. Then 44, 49, gap fill, sell that. And then maybe, yeah, I don't know, 45. Actually, that's a bit too close to that. I don't know, maybe something here if GDX starts to look weak or silver starts to look weak, whatever. But just every couple of areas, I'll just trim, or if it's a recognizable resistance. And you can see I've already marked already with the yellow area. But Newmont, once it starts reaching the 49s, it feels like that's far away. But honestly, if gold is doing a 3,000 plus, Newmont should really be up here. But you're just not allowed to go all the way back up. So I'll be selling into it, but right now it looks good. Next one, Barrick Gold. Yeah, Barrick Gold. Whenever the picture shows up, weak. Look at that. It looks like a silver junior stock. And I think it's wait, wasn't there something about this Mali? I think they had to pay off Mali government, or they've just closed their operation. Honestly, this Mali thing is starting to annoy me. It was so obvious. I thought it was priced in to some degree, but Barrick Gold, and then you got B2 Gold, which we'll get to later. I think that was an offering. That's nothing to do with Mali, but it's just coincidence. Barrick Gold, though, it's just weak. I mean, Newmont, you can see is stronger, even though it's come down maybe more. But Barrick Gold's weak. It should be stronger. I actually want to. I'm going to sell Barrick Gold as GDX moves up, sell into it, and I usually have Barrick Gold worth the same amount as Newmont. Sometimes Newmont's worth more, especially after the drop. I buy a bit too much, but Barrick Gold's usually like tier one. I think I'm gonna just um, I'm just gonna I don't know, lower it to like instead of putting like let's say 5K in it, just 3K. It's just nah. I think I prefer that cash being deployed elsewhere. So Barrick Gold, I'll sell into it a bit more aggressively, especially when I feel like the resistance is met. So first resistance, I'm actually going to move it there. Normally I would put it there as I did, but it's just so weak. I'm going to say 1640. That'll be your first resistance. No, this is not resistance. 1640 is your first resistance. Next one, I don't see anything obvious until really 1750 slash 1770, but just be sure 17. Yeah, this area. So one, then here, and then after that it gets a bit weird, and it would take a lot of strength in gold for it to even be up here. You can see the weakness. Look at this. Didn't even close a higher day. It's just weak, weak. So I'll be selling into it here. Every single horizontal line you see, little gap fill there, done. Next one there. I'm not even sure about this one. Barrick Gold's weak. Agnico-Eagle, absolute opposite of Barrick Gold, just perfect. And it's just made a new absolute all-time high. Well, yesterday, but today, look at that, retests, and it's actually closed. Well, I mean, they all closed near high update. Basically, perfect chart. You don't even need to look at the chart. It's just flagging at all-time highs. If gold goes to 3,000 plus, Agnico-Eagle will just start making its move towards $100 stock price, which makes sense. It's got great all-in sustaining cost. It's basically the best run senior mine, I think. And if gold is now at 3,000, the money should be so good. And it just reminds me of all these big blue chip, tech stocks. This is the tech stock. This is the Nvidia of GDX. This is the best senior stock, and it just makes sense. Like I would prefer Barrick Gold money into Agnico, even though Agnico is worth the same as Barrick right now for me. I honestly should just dump all of Barrick, throw into Agnico, and that's it. I would make more money. It goes down less and it goes up more. Maybe I should just do that. But I might just trim a little bit here and then buy Agnico. I might just do something like that. But I don't even want to say anything about Agnico. It's just perfect. So if gold goes up, it'll go up. If it goes down, I haven't really discussed the levels on the way down. There's nothing to discuss. The levels. I mean, this is your real support. It will stop off on the way. but resistance is just 100 because we've just made new all-time highs, so there's no point in zooming out the chart. Wonderful chart. I accidentally deleted quite a few stocks, so I need to remember the order. Pan American Silver, not bad given where SIL is, senior silver stocks, and where silver is. This is, I think, just by going from picture memory, Pan America is outperforming. Got tiny resistance here at 2220. Once we close above that, and this descending, everywhere I look, the descending has worked for every stock I cover and the ETFs. So therefore, I feel like a $23 maybe, big round number, also descending roughly. That might be resistance. So you might get something, the old high 2220, very, very small resistance here, but worth a little yellow squiggle. 23 something after that got here, 24.30-ish. Yeah, 25.80. Yeah, I generally agree with that. These have been in for ages. But I think it's outperforming, and if silver starts to move because gold's moving, Pan America should outperform still. And once you break out 23, it's really move up to there. And then I can see Pan America going to old highs. I really can. And I hope it does. So that looks good. Next one, Wheaton. Wheaton, I would have expected Wheaton to be higher. It's like the Agnico-Eagle of royalty. And given where gold is, I'd expect it to be like mid 60s, maybe even higher. So underperforming. But anyway, closing the high of day. We've got a little mini resistance here. But anyway, that's where the squiggle is. It's coinciding perfectly. Whoops, I'm in the yellow. So that's the resistance base, and it's a big number, 60, basically 60. It's the horizontal, it's the descending, and it's the big round number. So $60 is absolute resistance. We'll probably touch it tomorrow. You close above 61, just to really make sure you're out of this descending on a daily close. Maybe also possible tomorrow. Let's check that out. Not 3%, yes. Then it's a quick move to 64, and then the horizontals are correct. So that's Wheaton. Very nice, very clear, I think. Next, Franco Nevada. Franco Nevada's had a nice move. Really nice. Look at this gap up there. Opens above resistance, or at resistance, closes above it. Retests it today. Doesn't even gap fill, just closes back above this 129 level. Just so it's strong. It looks like if gold keeps going, Franco Nevada keeps going. Next stop is going to be 132. Might as well move that up. And then maybe the gap valve, whatever. I really don't think we're going to go down actually. After 132, next stop is going to be, yes, 134. That's not too far away. After that, 137. And then we're new, obviously not new all-time highs, but new highs higher than when gold was last at 2800, and that's good enough for me. And to be honest, at that point, you can forget 140. It's probably going to go higher. It's probably going to start testing this longer term descending. So I could just extend that. So Franco Nevada looks good, which has not been the case for some time. Now Metalla, nowhere near as good. It had that bad news. I mean, it came down with the metals, the metal prices from 2800, but with bad news, it just killed the stock a bit. I mean, I trimmed a little bit on the way up, nowhere near as much, but I didn't expect this drop. And it's weak. I mean, first of all, where did we close? I can't even tell. Here. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. We should have closed higher, especially everything else closed at higher day. 261, it was down. Unbelievable, Metalla. That's not good. I'm just holding Metalla. I don't even think I added Metalla. I think I just held what I had from the way down and just whatever, long-term hold. If gold is gonna go up to 3,000, but this one I'm not sure if it's gonna go up. It'll go up a little bit with 3,000, but make new highs. I think you just have to hold this for several more months for it to finally get back to 4. You probably need good news. But I mean, it's at absolute lows. Can it go lower? Of course it can. But like B2 gold, which we'll get to, I wouldn't be dumping at the absolute lows because a lot of people did that in after hours yesterday in B2 gold, and today kind of recovered a lot of it. So Metalla is just a hold. I wouldn't buy because I have enough, and I certainly wouldn't sell. So it's just a hold. But next stop resistance is going to be around 280. Honestly, let's close above 280. Then you can think about 320. I don't really see any resistance. Even three will obviously be a bit intraday at least, but 320 is the next one. Then you got this gap fill here, 340, then 370. We're far from there, so I'm not going to cover that. But yeah, the first real stop, and there's no point in talking about this one until it does it. 280 on the way down. You got these two, 250 or 230. Embarrassing that one. All right, next is the silver stock. So First Majestic underperforming, but to be honest, given what Silver and SILJ are doing, it's not the worst looking chart out of all of them. Uh, Not the worst chart. And remember, silver was down, so to be honest, the fact that it's pretty much unchanged is an outperformance. Now, first, let's clear this up. It's not even six. Okay, a close above six is good, but really a close above six, 16 is better. I'll leave this squiggle here. $6 is really the level, a close on a daily. But again, let's just clear all these little tails. And then you can look at the next 680. Obviously, it's 680. It's nothing else but 680 after that. And if you're testing 680, you've probably got silver doing a big catch up, gold above 2800. These will move fast. Above 680, for sure, you're going to go all the way back up to 8. It's just like 1, 2 big days. Look, we've seen these candles. Look at these candles. Look at these candles. 1, 2, and you're done. So it's all about closing above 620. 680 is then inevitable. And if you close above 680, as long as momentum carries on, it's good. On the way down, you've got this 540. You've got this. It might not even be correct. 520. I've got. It could be like this fake flush. You bounce, and then you close back above 540. Otherwise, the absolute lows from those good news days, like buybacks, I really don't think we go there unless the whole complex just collapses or silver collapses because there's some. I don't know. What about peace in Ukraine? What would that do to gold and therefore silver? That one we need to consider because I think that's coming. I think that's coming soon. Like, oh, Putin and Trump had a nice phone call. They've agreed to de-escalate or halt, have a ceasefire on the line of contact. Something like that. It could just destroy the plan. Obviously, you welcome the news of peace, but I don't know how silver would react to that. Or maybe it's priced in, right? Everyone knows about peace plan, so okay. But that's First Majestic, not the worst, and we've got identifiable levels, so it's okay. Lots of profit to come on that one if gold breaks out 3,000, especially. Fortuna, not that bad. Close a high of day, bit like the other silver stocks, bit like First Majestic, roughly. Yeah. It needs to close above 460, but you know what? We're looking for higher numbers, so why not just identify it as up here, 470? Then you've really cleared it. All the last like 3 weeks of daily highs. Close above 470. Then your next stop is going to be the descending, which I think is pretty obvious. Oh, and it happens to be $5. Definitely going to be a level, psychological level there. After that, it's going to be the last high up here, 530, and then boom, 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 550 gap fill that we haven't done. Remember, Fortuna was acting relatively strong compared to other stocks. Other stocks were going down more. I mean, it's not been as strong as the other ones. This looks nice. It hasn't been that strong for the last couple of months, but it's outperformed on the way down, and I feel like this one wants to make a statement soon. So I like Fortuna. I like Fortuna. Today's close was good too. So let's see. 475, 530, 550, 580. Boom, boom, boom. On the way down, 420, and then 380. Forget that. It's not happening. Next one, Coeur d'Arlène. This one outperforming very nicely. Remember, we're looking at a sort of silver stock, can I say junior, a mid-tier silver stock. You need to take 660 out on a daily close. So that's your resistance. You close above that. Boom. Maybe even in one day. 740. Amazing. If you're at 740, that's it. You're making new highs. That is the new highs. That's it. Never been above 780, which is the same as 740. So basically, we take out this 660, which is just cents away. Yeah, like 5%. That's an okay day for CDE, a good day. Well, it does have very good days very often if silver does well. So you have one good day with silver, let's say gold's retesting 2800. You're basically here next week or, like 2, 3 days later. And silver probably is nowhere near its highs by then. So CDE is going to run like a little champion. If you've got gold above 3,000 and silver starts to do its little $32 test, and are we going to run to our old highs at 35? Silver at 35, we got CDE at 9 or something. I love CDE. I've loved it for a while. And it's my best performer overall, especially now. So love it, absolutely love it. Next one, and by the way, it's that little merger with SILV, so it kind of looks similar. That's nice. Same thing here, though. You take out this 1050, boom, back you go to the old highs. So amazing. Next one, God, I deleted so many stocks on TradingView. I have to go by memory. Next one is Hecla. Okay, so Hecla, which underperformed on this flush down here, finally found this little base, finally broke out the descending, retested it one time, 2 times, 3 times, boom, boom, boom. You need to close above 560, which is done tomorrow if we have a good day. I really think you do that, you can start to march up and test this horizontal. I don't see 6 as a level. Interestingly enough, you may just go straight to like 615 or something on that day. So, and this is done. This is it's broken out, and I think it's retested. So you got these two levels. You got 560, 610, I'll say. On the way down, yeah, I think you got this 480 level. No point in talking about that. I really think we're going to move up. After that, I mean, it's going to take several days to go there. You got this little sort of, I don't know, between 670 and 660. You might as well do 660. Let's be conservative. 660, and then blah blah blah. Right? That will take like 2 weeks probably. I don't know, unless gold really runs and the silver runs with it. So that looks okay. Taking out the descending, we just need that little move up there. There's quite a few of them that need to do the same sort of move. Next, the XK. Okay. I can straight away see something here. I think. Is that too much? Whatever. It doesn't matter. It needs to test this horizontal. When it does that, this descending is taken out. Let's just say this is your level. Oh yeah, $4 psychological. Let's close above 4. It's holding, right? It's basing. And remember, silver's underperforming. It even had a red day, I think. Yeah, it did, of course. So the fact that EXK is basically unchanged is good. You have a nice move in silver. You can see EXK to 4, but I think that's quite a big move. 12%, that's quite a lot. It does it. It can do it. Anyway, if gold starts to run, if silver follows gold up, silver just has 1 or 2 very nice days. You could start testing 4. We close above 4, we start to hit all these horizontals on the way up. But it's got a long way up and lots of resistance. Just like it did after this move down. I thought also it's going to have a lot of resistance. And it just did it. And it went to new highs. And here we've got a higher low. And it could just bam, 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 and do it. And then you find yourself at 6. But anyway, that's the first, those are the first obstacles to overcome. Next one, Max Silver. Pretty good, right? Descending, climbed up. Here, this 1470 broke out, retested, holding the retest. Remember what silver's doing. And SIL. This is outperforming, I reckon. You just need that little 1550 close. I might as well leave it as it is. It's basically if silver has a nice move, you could see mag probably close the day up here, and then the next day it's testing this 1620. close above 1620. Honestly, you're probably going to do more than just test this area. I'm going to give it some room. I see MAG being one of the first major silver stocks to make new highs. You know, if it happens, MAG Silver, it just looks primed. Very good. Very nice, MAG Silver. Next one, Aris Mining. Yeah, Aris Mining. So this holding, it's okay. It's a gold stock. I think it had bad news. Anyway, it came all the way back down to here, which is quite a lot. And I bought this low. I'm quite sure about that. And now it's just holding. It's not the craziest move. It's not bad. It's not great. It's holding. You need to really close above this 390. Okay, I don't need that. Close above 390, then you got this quite obvious level around between 410 and 420. I think that's about right. 415-ish, give or take 5 cents. So 390, 415, then you probably got this descending, which by then is there. And yeah, then you start to move all the way back up to the old highs, $5, 520. That'll take some big move in gold for that. New highs, and it's underperforming gold, so may even be worth selling into it if it starts moving all the way to like 450 or higher. But otherwise, it's okay. Next one, I am gold. That's beautiful. That's really good. So obviously 590 is a level. It's been identified some time ago. You take out five basically tomorrow if you have a decent day, not even a decent day, just not a bad day. It'll close probably above 6, and the next day it's testing 640. And this is just going to make new highs with gold. Beautiful stuff. It's like Agnico-Eagle kind of obvious strength. So very good. On the way down, clear levels. No need to say it. Very nice iron gold. Very nice. Jesus Christ, very nice. I forgot where I bought this. Like, did I buy it here? 295 average. Jesus. Next one. From amazing to terrible. B2 gold. So this one here. Really, that's the chart. Okay, yeah. So it had, I think, dilution after hours, horrible. It was down like, was it 15 more percent, just down 17%. So I thought, oh my God. Zooming out on the chart, testing absolute lows. I had to zoom out historically, even the basically COVID lows. You know what? I could even delete this, even delete that line. It's the COVID low that was tested and held, give or take a couple of cents, literally a couple of cents at best. This old low became resistance, but I'm impressed that it was even tested because you open, it went down a few cents. This is at the open today. After hours yesterday, it was getting obliterated, but it kind of climbed back up. But really impressive recovery. Closed at a higher day tomorrow. I do think we're going to have a good day tomorrow. You're going to end up closing the gap and probably closing above 240, and you're basically where you were 2, 3 days ago after this really bad news, dilution, worst news a miner can get, I think, besides the explosion of a mine or something, which proves the bottom is in. If you got the worst news and it kind of recovers and goes back to green 2 days later, all those people who sold, people bought that. Like it's over. So extremely strong support down here to go back to unchanged pretty much after that kind of news. And the chart should have been obvious that that was strong support. I mean, even after COVID, before COVID, it was still a level. But people freak out. They see the news, they sell, and charts are a lot more useful than emotion there. So there's your support. I might as well move it to just like in the middle. Let's call it 225, 230. This whole level is support. Resistance, less obvious. I mean, you could almost say there's something like this. I don't know. It's really this high here. You close above that, you're definitely moving up. But you like generally, you could probably encounter resistance before then. But I'm not selling before then, so I'm gonna go for the big one. 270. That's your resistance. Not to sell into, but as an indication, you close above 270, you're going to move higher and probably start testing $3 soon. But very nice recovery today. This is just a hold. You don't sell it. You don't, yeah, you could buy it. But after that kind of news, would you really buy when you've got other stocks? And after that kind of a move, would you really buy into it? It's just a hold for me. And I'm very impressed by the move. Equinox, very, I thought it was doing better. Well, anyway, oh, sorry, that's SSRM. Anyway, Equinox, okay. Um, Not as good as I'd hoped actually recently, but it's holding very well. And compared to other stocks, it's okay too. So first resistance is 611. Close above this 610, 611, you are moving to 650, which is the high of the last couple of months, or maybe even, can I say years? I mean, gold at 2800 was, this is where as high as it got, 650. So we take out 610, we move to 650, and after that, it's new territory. So Equinox is good, and it could do that in 2, 3 days. Gold above 2800, go to 3000. You've got this at 650 or higher. So Equinox is good. It's going to make new highs with gold. That's pretty good, given not all stocks do that. Not all gold and silver stocks do that. SSRM is good. Came down like everything else, held quite well. Didn't go all the way back down to the first breakout level. Held this base here at 686. Curled, bam, going back up. And to be honest, closing the high of day, closing nicely. Tomorrow, the day after Monday, if gold is testing 2800, 3000, SSRM is making new highs. And that stands for silver standard, right? So silver's nowhere near its highs. So this is beautiful. And for me, I sold into this move, boom, boom, boom. I didn't even know if it go all the way back up here, but I sold into it. I didn't buy back. I was buying back other stocks. That's cool. But if we start to go, and we will, I mean, $8 is a level so far, mini level. I think it's easy to take it out. You could probably even close above it tomorrow if you have a good day. It looks like it wants to do that. But after that, you've pretty much got this old high up here, this 834. Let's call it 830. You can trim a little bit, 829. I probably have an 829 sell. I know how I am. But after that, I'm just dumping. I'm probably not even touching 850. It's too close to 830. So 829, and then after that, 9. And by 9, I mean 899. And then that's when it starts to get interesting, because my trims usually take a long time to close the position. I want to close SSRM. I don't know too much about it. I mean, mudslide and all that, I think it belongs way higher, but I was talking about $10, and it sounded unrealistic when we were at 4 for a long time, and 5. But now we're almost guaranteed to go to 10. So and the thing is, once you're at 9 sort of 30, you're now gap closing. So I should be all out, but I won't be. So I need to think about how I'm going to do that, because it could keep going and start going to, like a magnet all the way to 10, or rather 979. I feel like I'd sell that. I really agree with my lines here. The $9, yeah, okay, $9, just in case it loses steam early and it's a big round number. Basically, I'm going to copy the plan in motion. So I'll leave that there. And whether I'm all out by 9:30 or 10, I think I will be. I think I'll just say, okay, thank you, you've done your job. I will now put the proceeds in other stocks on a pullback, because this is probably going up with the whole index. But this looks beautiful. This, like I Am Gold, like Agnico-Eagle, these just look destined for new highs. So very, very excited about that. Finally, SBSW. Well, I mean, that's platinum palladium stuff, but you can see it's crawling back from the gutter. First resistance, 380. It's 380 or it's 374, whatever. It's the same thing. 380. You close above 380, you're going to go to the 430 zone. Yeah, 430. And then after that, you can start thinking about $5. But for that, you need platinum palladium. All right, that'll do. Well, I finished at midnight. It's been ages since I did videos. I've had small family issue. Well, house moving, whatever. But now it's more stable. But I say that after every video, and then I don't do a video for ages. But now I'm probably gonna do way more frequent videos, way more frequent videos. And well, I hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed it. And hopefully we get a nice little Friday because some of these stocks can start looking like making new highs and we can make some good money again. All right, good luck.